So today's session is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you how you can connect with your dream clients on LinkedIn 24/7 without you having to do much at all. There's a little bit of groundwork at the beginning, but other than that, it's over to the system. So when I first started my journey on LinkedIn, it felt a little bit awkward connecting with people. It was like, oh God, do I really want to send this connection request and what have you? But you realize pretty quickly that if you're not making connections, you're not going to build up a network. And we have businesses to run. And I think we need to step into this space of being a business owner and realizing that it's only us that can do this work. We can have a system sat in the background, but we've got to make the steps and the efforts to actually connect with people and start engaging and having conversations. Now, it doesn't have to be icky. It doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. It doesn't have to feel inauthentic whatsoever. And I'm going to show you today exactly what works for me, what's working for my clients, and how it can actually work for you too. So I started off connecting with people myself manually, trying to keep everything maintained in an Excel spreadsheet and what have you, and it just became a bit of a bugger's muddle. I then handed it over to a VA thinking that would be better and that would work well for me. It felt clunky, it felt weird, someone else doing this for me, and it felt like I didn't really have control on things. I also didn't like having someone speak on my behalf. Now, there's many different people out there that can offer you services on LinkedIn. It honestly depends what feels right for you. I know for me that this feels great, and that I get a lead in nearly every single day as a result of what I do. And so I'm going to show you exactly what that is. So it's going to mean me flicking between screens, so bear with me. So I use a tool on in my world called Walaxy. So Walaxy, and I'm going to put a link in for you so that you can go through and you can set up an account for yourself. There's different options, different levels that you can go with. I would always say just start out at the bare minimum. Go for the cheapest one available, free one if it's available. I don't believe I see exactly the same screen as you because I've already got an account and it knows that, so it just takes me straight to log in. So go and set up an account there. Now, Walaxy is great because it's a Google Chrome extension and it acts and behaves like you do. So you just set it up to be yourself. Now, LinkedIn doesn't like third-party applications, but what's great about Walaxy is that LinkedIn can't actually pick that up if you, as I say, set it up to behave like you. And I'll show you exactly how that works. So once you've set up your Walaxy account, if we go into LinkedIn, you'll see that on your feed in LinkedIn and in the top right hand corner, you'll see importing profiles from on Walaxy. So you can basically search for your dream clients in LinkedIn and take them directly through to Walaxy. Now, whether you've got a basic account on LinkedIn, whether you've got a premium account, whether you've got a sales navigator account, I've basically got the basic account now on LinkedIn. I've had all of the others before. Now I've got Walaxy. I find it, I don't feel the need to have a more premium account on LinkedIn. It's not necessary for me. But you'll see here that you can import people into Walaxy from relationships, from a search, if you're part of a group, so you can import members from that group into your world, import the participants of an event. So if there's an event, you can import them into Walaxy as well. So that's what happens when you actually connect Walaxy through. So what does Walaxy actually do? And I'm going to show you here. So when you've set up your account in Walaxy, you'll see that there's a dashboard. And in this dashboard on the left-hand side, you'll see that there's prospects, and yours will be blank because you haven't imported any people in yet. There's campaigns, and there's different types of campaigns that you can run. Inbox and then team, that's if you've got team members. So we're not going to bother about inbox today. We're not going to worry about team. I'll show you a little bit on settings so that you can set it up to look and behave like you. I'll show you in a moment how to actually import prospects into Wallachsy, and then I'm going to show you campaigns here, and there's different types of campaigns. If I go up to start a campaign, you'll see some of the quick launch ones here. I'm going to show you the most basic of basic campaigns because I want you to be able to start having conversations with people and really feeling like you're on top of how Wallachsy is working with LinkedIn to start. Over time, you can create more complex campaigns for yourself, but today is literally let's get you started and getting prospects into your world and get you to have conversations with people. So let's go back over to LinkedIn. So apologies for flicking back and forth between the screens, but it's important for you to see them. Now, we're going to do an import from a search today. Now, you can import from relationships once you have a lot of first connections. I'm just going to do a blank search essentially today, which is import from search. And I'm going to show you the different ways that you can do this. So in here, you've got first, it will take you to people, and you've got first connections. So these are people that you're already connected with. You've got second connections. So these are connections of your first connections. And then you've got third connections. We are never going to touch third connections. We ignore third connections because if you do a search on, excuse me, on LinkedIn and you bring third party prospects into Wallachsy and you start connecting with them on LinkedIn, it will pick up and it will look spammy, and LinkedIn will think you're doing something a little bit dodgy. So we're only going to look at second connections. So people, second connections, you can see here that I've got 2.38 million second connections. I don't want to connect with all of my second connections. We're looking for dream ideal clients here, and I'm going to just use it for my own purposes because it's the easiest way, and show you, and then you can basically do it for yourself. I'm going to look at connections only in Australia today, and I'm going to go to show results. So there are 488,000 second connections that I have in Australia. It's quite a lot given the size of the population. So there's a lot of people that know the people that I know, or the people that I'm connected with over here. So we've got people, second connections, Australia. Then we're going to go to all filters. In all filters, these are all the different things that you can narrow your search down by. So at the moment, second connections, Australia. I can then go in and narrow them down by company. So I could search for a company that's listed on LinkedIn, find it, and I could connect with people there. I'm not going to do that. I could connect with people that are connected with someone that I know. I could connect with followers of a creator on LinkedIn, a thought leader, an industry leader on LinkedIn. I'm not going to do that either. I could do someone that's previously worked for a company. So for example, if I wanted to search for a past company, I could go in here and add one, just add that person, add that company that's listed. You could do it through a university or a college. You could do it by industry. So you basically just narrow this down and down and down. Language, services that they offer here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow this down. First of all, I'm going to do it by English because I have no second language. So it's absolutely no point me having a conversation with someone whose profile is not in English. Um, I'm going to narrow it down by people that offer coaching and mentoring and consulting here. And then I'm going to narrow it down by people who have in their title, in their job title, um, let's look for business coach. I'm going to narrow it down by that. And I'm going to show results and let's see what comes back. So there's 416 people in Australia who are second connections, who speak English, that's their preferred language. They offer coaching and mentoring, and they have business coach in their title. That's what they're calling themselves. So you'll see all of these people down here. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to create on the right hand side, so it's narrowed this down. On the right hand side, I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to call this a demo list. So demo business coach Australia, and I'm going to create. So I've created a new list in Wallexy. It's going to import up to 1,000 people, and I'm just going to press confirm. So now you can see that it's importing 416 prospects into Wallexy. I'm not going to worry about this because I don't have a campaign set up at the moment. So you can see that that's whirring away 2%. I'm now going to head over to Wallexy and we're going to go to prospects. And you'll see that in Wallexy, it's automatically, because I've already set this up, it's connected, a demo of the business coach in Australia. And you can see that all of those people on LinkedIn are now being sent over here. So it's building up a list. Now there's 16 people, and you'll see that this will continue to refresh. Now it's got down here duplicates because they're people that I've already brought over into Wallexy already. So we don't just let that do its thing here. So whilst that's happening, whilst all of these people are coming over, we're going to now go down to campaigns. So we go to start campaign, and you can see here there's quick launches. So these are campaigns that you can basically just click on and we can populate. I used to have, we're going to only look at invitation today. So this is purely about creating those connections. I'll tell you what I used to do before and why I don't do that at the moment, and why I certainly wouldn't recommend you doing it to start off with. So we're going to set up a new campaign and we're going to call it Invitation Business Coach Australia, because we know that it's those prospects that are just coming in. And we're going to go next. How do you want to add your prospects? And we're going to do it from a list, because you've just created your own prospect list from here. And once that's fully populated, once all of those people have come over, we're going to select this Demo Business Coach Australia. Let's just see, let's just save this for the moment. We're just going to save this. We've set up that campaign. We haven't imported anyone in yet. We're going to wait. So we're going to go back over here, close this. We're going to go to prospects. We'll see how our prospects are going. So you've got 17% here. So what I'll do actually is I'll go into campaigns, and it doesn't matter that they haven't all come over yet. We're going to go into draft, because I've just saved it as a draft here. We're going to edit that draft so we know that that's the invitation for Business Coach Australia. We're going to edit draft. We're going to import from list. We'll just import this in. Business Coach Australia demo. Yes, add all 78 prospects. Invitation, add note. So you will know, or you've experienced, I'm sure, that you'll get connection requests come through, and as part, before you've even connected with them, you can see that there's a message waiting to be read in your inbox from someone. I personally want people to not know that this has been automated. I want to at least remove that barrier straight up so that they feel that it's a personal connection. So I'm just going to go to no. And what it says here, did you know invitations without notes are accepted 10% more often? So that's why, because it looks more so there's arguments for and against. Some people will say you have to send a note with the invitation. I would only ever accept an invitation from someone that had a note. I don't believe that. I just put no, just don't bother. I have no apps that I'm going to connect this to. I'm not connecting a CRM at this stage. We're just going to keep it super simple. And you see here, your campaign is ready to be launched. So you've set up your sequence because it's just an invitation. You've got your prospects in there, and you can add more prospects into your campaign later. So don't worry about that. And your content invitation with no note. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go launch campaign. Now, I'm pretty sure that once you start using this, so this campaign is running, and I can actually, and you'll see here, there's people ongoing here. I can actually go in and edit this, and I can pause this campaign because I don't want it to do anything at the moment. It's paused here because I'm just using this as a demo. That's why I paused it. So what this is now doing, what Wallexy is doing, is it is sending a blank connection request to all of these people that you've put into this campaign here. What I'm going to show you now is how to set up your settings so that Wallexy is behaving like you. So let's go into here. You've got cloud, so you're going to have to connect to your cloud. You can see that this is connected here. That's my account. This should just say that it's working. Cloud is set to go through to LinkedIn. Account activity. This is the bit that we're interested in. So I have set this so that it's only going out in working hours. 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock on a Monday, 9 o'clock to 2:45 on a Tuesday, 9 to 5 on a Wednesday, 10 to 4 on a Thursday, 9 to 4 on a Friday. Not doing it on a Saturday and not doing it on a Sunday. You can do it whatever way that you like. I'm limiting this so that, as I say, it looks and behaves like me. Now, the other thing that you've got here is edit your maximum daily quota. Now, imagine LinkedIn and the algorithm, and you set this up and you haven't been connecting with people, you haven't been sending messages to people, you haven't actually been that active on LinkedIn. If you use all of the maximum daily quotas on each of these elements down here, LinkedIn is going to guess that there's something up, there's something wrong. It looks unusual, and it's basically a red flag. So you want to avoid that. And that is how people get into trouble when they use third-party platforms. And a lot of the other platforms aren't sat on a Google Chrome extension either, so they're prone to getting caught. Shouldn't have that. I won't say you won't. You should not have that problem on Wallexy, and you will make it a minuscule chance if you look at these settings and reduce them. So on here, I've got invitations. 50 invitations a day can go out. It could be 100 invitations a day, but you've only got a maximum of 200 a week anyway. So I wouldn't put it at 100 because it looks like you're just doing everything all at once. It will look odd. So I've just got 50 here. Then it's got 50 messages that you can send out. And if you click on there, it doesn't say how many. So you've got 150 messages that you can send out, but I've got 50 here. But I'm not sending out any messages from Wallexy anyway, and I'm not sending out message requests and the follows, because you can set this up to follow people and stuff as well. But we're not going to worry about any of that. But we're just going to reduce all of these just to be sure, to keep everything safe. That is how you start connecting people and connecting with your dream clients. Then it's what happens after that. So you've connected with them, and I'm going to show you what I do. Now, this is the piece that I recommend you do yourself, and you start to have conversations and understand your audience a little bit better, and to find your way. As I said, you can start to automate this at a later date, but at the beginning, I wouldn't. If we go here now, I've sent connection requests, so they're coming through as connectors rather than followers. So I'm just going to look at the connectors here. Now I know that all of these people, because I haven't connected with them manually, have been through automatic requests. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to show you. I've got to go back a bit because a lot of these people I have sent messages to. So every person that I connect with, I send a message to them. Let's go down. So I would have sent a message to Caroline. Great to be connected. So this is my first message to them. Great to be connected, Caroline. Most peeps I connect with here are here mainly for content or lead gen. What about you? Just ask them a simple question, something that you can start having a conversation with. A lot of people will not respond. They just won't. That's just the nature of it. But you want to build connections so that you can start building awareness, start gaining reach for content. There's so many different reasons why you just get connected with these people, even if you don't have a conversation, even if the conversation doesn't start beyond what you've sent out. The key is that at any point, anyone that you connect with has likely gone to your profile, and we've already looked at how you can optimize your profile. They've already gone to your profile, they've checked something out about you, and they've made a decision at that point whether they're going to connect with you or not. So the fact that they've connected with you is great. They don't have to do that. And they certainly don't have to respond to a message that you send them. Now, some people will respond, as I said, and some people won't. I'm going to go to one of my messages today, and I'm going to show you this message here from this lady. Now, this was a blank invitation. I sent her a message and she responded. Hi, Creator, thanks for reaching out. I'm at a point in my life where I've been laid off from my corporate sales job due to restructuring this time. So she's telling me about her world. She's implying that she's having conversations with people, she's doing some work, research, she's here to learn. People that have done similar things. I'm at the research phase, which is fair enough. But the fact that she's responded, it's a long response. She's taken time, excuse me. She's taken time to respond is fantastic. So there's an opportunity there. Excuse me. There's an opportunity there to continue to have the conversation. This guy, Tim, from yesterday, again, great to be connected to. Most peeps I connect with, you've seen a message. Hey, Karita. Well, your headline piqued my interest, and then your content about online consulting. I'm looking at moving into coaching and consulting space next year. And you look to have an overall positive vibe. Fantastic. So again, he's showing interest. So these are two conversations within 24 hours of sending out a connection request, starting a conversation, two people that are indicating that they're looking to take that next step in their own journey of building a coaching or consulting business online after corporate. So you see how everything starts to tie together. Now, there's nothing cringy about this. There's nothing awkward. You're asking a question. They're almost starting a conversation for you without you having to do much. Now, that to me is a positive result. It's then up to me to then have conversations, nurture people over time. This could very quickly, this conversation next could be very easy. So I've said it here, the headline is doing what it should then, haha. That's great, re the career move. What's the drive for that, and what type of coaching and consulting? So I'm asking a question. I'm showing that I want to know a little bit more about his business. Now, once he responds, he hasn't seen this message yet. Once he responds, I will then say, I've got Boundless Blueprint training that you're more than welcome to look at. Take a look at that. Then you can follow up the next day. I can follow up the next day and say, how did you get on with the training? Where do you believe the gaps are for you right now? He will then come back, because you'll see in the Boundless Blueprint training that there's a kind of a gap analysis that they can work through themselves, a self-diagnostic. They can work through that and see where their gaps are, what it is that they need to focus on. And then you invite them to have a conversation, or you invite them into your offer. You know, so this can go many different ways. But at this point, for you, it's just about starting to build these connections, starting to have these conversations, and to find your way through. Now, this is a bit of a manual task. You'll have to set time aside each day to do this. As I said, over time, you can automate this, but at the moment, I don't want you to. I want you to have something working in the background to build the connections, because that will save you hours and hours of time. And start having these conversations. That's all at the moment. And that is how you get started. And that is how you start to, you see how easy it is to connect with dream clients, start bringing them into your world and having these conversations. It's absolutely gold. And the more you do it, and the more that you get in the rhythm of doing it, the more fun you're going to have too. It doesn't have to be awkward. It doesn't have to be horrible. It's just having a conversation and letting it go from there. So that's it. I'm going to put the link in for Wallachsy below. So click on that so that you can set up your account, have a play with it. If you've got any questions at all, reach out in the group. We can cover this off in the Power Hour sessions or in the Ask Me Anything sessions as well. Anyway, I hope that's been beneficial to you. Show you how you can really start to get cranking on LinkedIn. So that's it from me, and I will speak to you later. Adios.